Hey everyone, it's Jim T with RC Groups, Flying Giants, and Heli Freak. We are back with Saul from Plain Fun RC. What's happening, Saul?
Not much, Jim. Great to be with you today. Sounds like we got a great lineup going on. We've got so we're gonna look at some videos from the past here. Real excited to do that with you, and of course we've got our events coming up as well.
So, if you don't know, Saul goes to events all around the country and shoots videos of planes and pilots, and sometimes you get a little intel on what's going on inside the plane itself. And we do have some event coverage that we just did a whole story on, but also Saul is headed out to more events. And so tell us where you're headed and what everyone should hit the subscribe button for so they can look forward to it.
Not a problem, Jim. So coming up in August, we're going to be heading out to FlightFest. Real excited about that. They're out there in Dayton, Ohio, I think at the Aviation Museum, and they're going to also, I think the week prior, if I remember correctly, they're having the heavy lift competition. So so that'll be a lot of fun. I think I should be able to get at least get a little something, a little capture a little something. That is a fantastic event, folks. If you're looking for something that is really unique, the Flight Fest is unlike any fly-in anywhere at all. You've got people crashing, you've got people building. It is just unbelievable. And then after that, we have NAW in the fall coming up. And then in between, we'll see if we can pepper in some of the smaller events and venues. But those are the two big ones to round off the year.
So that's quite a bit of in the field. I love that if you can't make an event, you're almost there through Saul's videos. So we sure appreciate your hard work. I know personally, because I started doing this years ago, shooting the videos hard enough, editing and getting it not only on the internet, but getting it online in a timely manner is even harder. So it's a lot of hard work.
It is, but it's a lot of joy when you're doing it because it's always nice to hear folks saying that that they enjoyed the video, and if you can't make it to the event, at least you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight.
We're going to start you off with something pretty cool. This is a video. What year was this, Saul? Do you remember?
9 years ago, Jim. So this is going to put us at roughly about 2016, if I'm correct. Yes. Well, no, I'm sorry. Excuse me. 2017. Pardon me. 2017. And so this is the Stitz Sky Baby. Let me share with you how this came about, if I may.
Let me ask you one.
Go ahead.
This is 100%, right? This is the actual size.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you how that came about. So 2017 or 2016, excuse me, is the last year that we built the Valkyrie. That was the Carl Goldberg Valkyrie. You can look it up on YouTube. It was a community build. Lasted over. We would take it. The folks at Triple Tree would take it out for 1 week. Everybody would come and build. And in 2016 was the last year. So I knew we needed something for the next year, for the next community build. And I had an idea. I said, what? Four planes. I took 4 sets of plans with me. And I showed the first 3, but I saved this one for last. When I was sitting there showing the folks on the board and Pat Hartness, who owns Triple Tree, I said, full scale RC. And their eyes just kind of lit up because the quarter scale version of this set of plans that's available from Model Airplane News, okay, only has a 25-inch wingspan. I said, this is going to be perfect because full size, it only has an 86-inch wingspan.
Okay.
So I knew that this would be a good one. And then we got the go ahead about a month later. And then Mark Davidson, who sits on the board, who oversees a lot of the community builds, says, what if we build it at a Flite Test foam board? Ta-da! It's like, you got to be kidding me. That's a great idea. We had never worked with Flite Test foam board, so this was something completely new. And I'm going to tell you something. I see why people love it because it is easier to work with than balsa and ply. So I think I got, I don't know, 150 sheets, something like that. I think it was like 54 sheets total is what it took to make. And 5 days, and we were starting about 7 in the morning, going all the way to like 12, 1 at night.
Right.
And we got it built. Now the cowling, I'll say this much if I may for 1 second, okay? The cowling is 13 sheets of green foam board from Lowe's. And the way I know that, because my father he was there. He went to Lowe's, bought 13 sheets, puts it on top of his compact car, and he's holding his hand over top of the car, trying to hold the sheets on the top of the car to keep him from blowing away.
That sounds like a bad idea.
Oh, I know. That's what I thought. And this is the motor. I'm going to bring it up to the camera. This is the motor that we wound up using. This is an
Double cam.
Axie brand motor. So when brushless motors first came out, they didn't have really large motors. They had some of the smaller ones. So Axie came out with this because this could do two things. One, it could create a counter rotating where you put a prop here and a prop here and a counter rotate, or you could run it as a single unit. Well, we ran as a single unit and attached it to the front of that, and each motor used the 10S. So we had 20 cells in the front. You needed that weight because if you look at the airplane, most of the weight is aft of the of where the pilot would sit. But it just barely got it off the ground. And when Jason Schulman, who was the pilot that was flying it, I said, "You got to go full throttle." He goes, "I am."
Right.
So it was great.
Let me say that standing on the grass here, I shot this video that we're about to look at. I saw the prop that did not clear the cowl. I mean, maybe a half an inch. And I thought there is no way that that's going to move air over any surface, especially the elevator. It'll never even lift off. Did you think it was actually going to take off?
So yes, and I'll tell you why. I knew that this motor, okay, I knew what it swung, and it swung a 2410. Okay, so I knew it would pull it. I said, yep, the prop's not even going past the cowling, but that's okay. It'll pull it. Okay, it may not blow back. It's maybe the control surfaces aren't getting a lot of air from the prop, but I knew everything would be all right. And I knew when we hooked up the motor, we took it, we fired it up. And when we were building it, felt the pool, we said we're good. Everything's good. And so I'm so grateful. And sadly, it doesn't exist anymore because it didn't crash. It's just that what we learned is that, and anybody who's had a flight test plane knows this, when you keep it out in the heat for too long, the hot glue softens and can pull apart. Well, it hung in the restoration hangar for about the first year or two afterwards. And then I came in one year and it wasn't there. And Mark Davidson, who oversees the build, said it fell apart. From the heat, from the South Carolina heat,
Well, with all that said, let's watch it and then we'll comment while it's flying, because there's another part of this that was questionable. So basically, we have a whole crowd behind us waiting to see if this thing's going to actually take off or not. And we have Schulman testing the aileron and elevator and rudder there. Let me do this. But here's a video, so you can go see if it, or you can watch to see if it flew or not. Here we go. Jason Schulman at the controls. So I've got you back on. I think this was the big part for me. Will it turn and not fall off the wing?
Yes.
It just spiral into the ground.
It's so funny. I knew Jason Schulman was going to be the perfect pilot. And for those who may not be familiar with Jason Schulman, Jason for many years was the premier 3D pilot. He preceded Jace the Ace Ducia, and so I knew him at the controls, no problem. And the plane itself was a, it can be tricky to fly, but it was never made to be banked hard or anything of that nature. So I said, okay, he's got this, and yes, you're correct. That first turn, you're like, oh, is it going to fly? But look how slow it is. And it was full throttle the whole time. That it was great. It actually had two flights, one here. And then at night, they filled this thing up with LEDs. And at night, they did fly it at nighttime, believe it or not. I didn't get a chance to see that part of it. But it was a real joy. And I got to tell you, man, I was so tired because when we give these builds, we're going nonstop. We're going from 7 a.m. until well past midnight to get this done. And, and I was just wiped, and I was so happy when I saw it get off the ground. And he was doing just a beautiful job. I mean, a fantastic fantastic job. And you can see, and thank goodness you got this when you turned to the left and you saw all the people lined up,
All
because
right.
there were so many people that were coming by to see the build. Because it was really unlike anything. I mean, no one's ever built a full-size Sky Baby, not since Ray Stitz built the full-size Sky Baby. So this was incredible.
So the thing also, you might say, why is it's so grainy? This is kind of the state of cameras back then. I'm sure I had a very nice camera at the time.
Yeah, no, that's true. No, I'm eternally grateful you got this, Jim, because it really is a joy. I tell you, a lot of people have looked at it over the years, the video, and the plans are still available from Model Airplane News. There's even a company called Laser Design Services, which does make a laser cut kit of the quarter scale. And what's interesting about this, Jim? A number of people have taken those same plans and either taken it and blown it up to half scale, 3/4. There's even a gentleman in Germany who built a full-size plane from those same exact plans, and it flies beautiful.
Really?
He's on Facebook all the time. Yeah, he had a balsa and ply, and so it was a real joy. It was a shame it's not around anymore. But what an absolutely really cool airplane. So very cool, and the landing was perfect.
I was always blown away that you guys worked all that time at the biggest event in the world, and you never came out of that hangar. You just missed the whole event to build this airplane.
Well, you know what it was? It was interesting. You were doing a show years ago, and you said, "Why would someone come to an event and build airplanes?" Well, because what it was that an airplane like this, you would never see anything like this built anywhere. Maybe you might have one person in the world who might build something this big. And it was just so much fun to do those builds. They were massive aircraft, just absolutely huge. And it was just the most amazing builds that we did, and you had such enthusiasm from everybody that came, from Pat Hartness, who owned Triple Tree, to Mark Davidson, who oversaw the builds, and just people all over and that's what made it so much fun. And even and I'll tell you, Jim, it's that very moment where you see the wheels come off the ground and you get the biggest smile. And if you listen to that video very carefully, when that plane goes off, you're going to hear somebody laughing hysterically. That was me.
Oh, okay. Or sometimes the wheels don't come off the ground. I've been at Seth where they built a plane and it absolutely would not fly.
Yeah, we had that happen with the Henry Farman. We couldn't get that off the ground. It was underpowered, but it was still a joy to build.
Right. Well, what do we want to look at next for everyone?
Jim, let's head over to, why don't we go with, you're going to see the Extreme Flight T-Cub on floats. Let's go with that one. That's by Super Tim, who is the CEO and owner, one of the owners of Extreme Flight. You'll scroll up just a little bit there. You think you'll see it. It's going to be, there it is. That's it right there. Yep, that's perfect. Yep, that's it right there. So, I tell you something, Tim is a phenomenal pilot, and you can see it here. He is just working it, and it's always a joy to watch him fly that plane. So here, let me go ahead and let the audio play. Float fly line. Sorry, folks, just trying to make sure I don't fall off the dock here. And Super Tim, here in the white shirt, has brought the T-Cub on floats. Been wanting to shoot this for a while. He's such a phenomenal pilot. I don't care how many times I've shot Super Tim. He is just really just a phenomenal 3D pilot. It's such a joy to watch him fly, especially the T-Cub. He really rings it out. So you're in for a special treat. So folks, sit back, relax. Grab a chair beside the lake with me, why don't you, and let's enjoy the flight. Folks, while we're waiting for Tim, it has just been gorgeous out today. Just another fantastic day. I do hope you'll take some time. Click on the link in the description for Triple Tree. Plan on coming out to one of the events. If you're an RC pilot, there's tons of RC events. If you're a full-scale, there's tons of full-scale events. If you're a person who does both, come on out and enjoy both. Show your support for this wonderful venue. And, as I've said all along, make plans on attending NOAA in the fall next year, because every single year for the past 4 years I've been here, the weather has been just wonderful. Absolutely wonderful, and the people are just so great. Get to meet great people like Tim and so many other modelers who just share the same passion. Look at the size of the plane in relation to Tim. Tim's a tall guy, but man, that boat is where the plane is very big. What makes this plane so cool is the fact that it's just so big and it's on the water and it's on floats and it just looks about as scale as you could ever want.
That is a lot of airplane.
That is a lot of airplane, and you know this is something that Extreme Flight's been working on for a while now. They introduced it. I want to say maybe about a year or two prior at the NOL, and you know it's always whenever I put it up, it's always a popular plane for people to watch. It always, and people just really like that plane. I think that's going to be a big seller for them. Then the reason why they hadn't released it, they wanted to. They really wanted to perfect it. But look at this. I mean, look what it's capable of doing. It just really is something. And you know, it's based on a real Cub, and that's called the T Cub. That was highly modified for aerobatics, and they're coming out with an 80-inch. And he announced recently that they're probably going to go ahead and I think they're ready to. I think they finally finalized it and probably going to be starting production soon. But every single time I come out, it's incredible. And to watch him take this thing on floats and do all it does is just nothing short of stunning. He is a very, 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 very good pilot, and you know, they always make some really good planes. And I'm not getting paid. I don't get paid by them or anything like that. It's just that when I see someone that has a great airplane, a great flyer, you can't help but enjoy it. And he's just really ringing it out. You know,
And a
he even
great guy.
yes, he is. Yeah, and the thing about it too is that there was one video I didn't put it up on the playlist there, but there's one where he had that teacup. He literally disappeared into the clouds. He was gone. You couldn't see anything. And then he comes down, and then as he's coming down, he didn't come straight down. No, he comes in a perfect flat spin right out of the clouds.
Right. I don't know if you know this, but I met Chris way 20 plus years ago at Toledo when he worked for Bubba Spivey, who you may or may not even recall.
The name sounds familiar.
And so he left Bubba and started Extreme Flight and sent me his first prototype when I was the marketing guy at Hobby Lobby. And then Ben Fisher from 3D Hobby Shop, he started out on RC Groups and really just started selling little airplanes off of RC Groups, and 3D Hobby Shop grew out of that. And then they announced their merge at Joe Nall one year, which I was a part of. So let's get out of here. We're running commercials for people.
Yes.
And it's all a grassroots startup. Let's go here. So, you know, these are pilots just like us. I don't know why that won't let me get on there. That got started and just flying through the forums, you know, and then here they are creating these airplanes that are pinnacle, the peak of what's available out there now.
That's exactly right. They're making some really great stuff. Very popular brand. And, you know, Tim really gets it out there and really represents. Let's go to Kike, just above Tim. You're going to see him right there. Yep. Head on up. Just one more video above that one. You'll see it. Yep. Let's see.
Oh, the Godfather.
Yep. Godfather of 3D, folks. Let me tell you, I love when Kiki gets out there, because I like, you know, I love to say he's the Latin lover of RC, the Godfather of 3D. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Kike Somanzini.
I've seen him in a foot race. He's pretty fast too.
But he's phenomenal. I always enjoy shooting him, and it's always such a pleasure. I mean, this is the man who started 3D. There's very few people in life where you can say that you started something and changed not only an industry in terms of RC, but his impact on full scale as well. You can go to these full size air shows, watch the aerobatic pods, and many of the maneuvers that they do nowadays is what Kike would do. So he really just started a whole entire genre flying and open up a whole nother area of RC. I mean, you would not, without Kike, you would not have had a lot, in my opinion, you would not have had, a lot of these 3D plane and manufacturers like Extreme Flight, like so many others that created 3D planes. So it's such a pleasure to watch him. And he just takes his otter and just really works it out. And there's just a wonderful plane. They're fantastic aircraft.
If you weren't around back when 3D broke, it was the thing that was going to ruin the hobby. Everybody was up in arms about 3D flying. And of course, it just expanded the hobby.
That's exactly right. It really did. And actually, it got more people interested in it because, it's interesting. There are those that just want to fly 3D. They're not really interested in scale, or
Right.
anything of that nature. They want to get out there and they want to ring it out. And if you go down to the 3D line at Joe Knoll, they're out there, man. They just go, pardon the expression, balls to the wall. And because that's what makes it fun. And Kike just was really working it here with his otter and everything.
It's a demographic thing too. You always want to keep the young guys coming into the hobby to keep the hobby alive. And 3D definitely is appealing to 16, 20-year-old or even younger,
That's exactly right. What's really interesting, the two things that I think have appealed that I've seen in my time in the hobby that appeal most is 3D, and it's also those flight test planes. Those are the two big ones that really bring in the young folks, and that's what you really want, So
I was in a hobby shop, and there was a VHS tape, and I'd never heard of Kike or 3D, and he was flying at a horse racing arena, and he was doing a high alpha around this track, and I'd never seen anything like it. That's really what got me in the hobby. I was like, I want to fly like that guy.
Yeah, I remember. I remember seeing Kike for the very first time at Joe Knoll, and it was amazing. It was really something. Let's go with the funniest video. You see it just above Kike, the one directly above that one. That's a great one. It's short, it's sweet, but it's really funny. Now watch what he does with the Aeroscout. I love it. Don't go ahead and fire up the audio there, Jim. It's really good when you do it.
You got it.
Hi friends, welcome to the Plain Fun RC channel. I'm your host Saul. I'm having a ball at Knoll in the fall. It's day 7. I'm in plane heaven because we're on the greatest venue in the world. We have got the Hobby Zone Aeroscout that's here. Folks, it's a perfect trainer plane, but watch the way Mark flies it. If you're an experienced pilot, you can fly the hell out of these things. So folks, sit back, relax, enjoy the flight.
Saul, I've had a lot of airplanes over the years, and this is one that's still hanging in the rafters just because it's a great trainer, but also you can do anything with it, as this guy shows.
That's exactly right. And if you fast forward a little bit to where he goes through and flips upside down and throws it, I told him to do that because I have to be honest. I saw someone do it online. I said I had to see if it's possible. I thought, well, this is AI. He can't turn the thing upside down and throw it. And I'm going, no, he did it, and it was so funny. It took a second. We thought that he didn't have to add power when he did it, and it turned out. Oh, there. I think you're probably close to it, right about there, maybe. Let's see. I think there you go.
So he throws it and guns it.
Right here, go ahead and fire up the audio, Jim. It's actually kind of funny when you hear it.
Okay, I'm going to pause that, mute you, turn this on, and crank up the volume. It's so easy.
Maybe the motor needs to be on. I don't know.
Hold on. We got to go back for the laugh.
Mark Butter right there. Mark Butter. Because he's having a blast with that plane and made a gorgeous loon to go along with. What more are you going to say? All right, friends. Oh, okay. Well, that didn't work. Maybe the motor needs to be on. I don't know. Now he's determined. Here we go. There it goes. He did it. Hey! That's great. That's the best.
Hold on, Jim. Stay with it. Stay with it.
More to come. Oh my God.
Very nice.
Yeah.
See, and that's what is that? A $200 airplane? You can be exceptional with very little.
We got to get there, Jim.
There we go.
Got it. Okay. All right. Yeah. So no, I think it's probably about that range, and it's really a lot of fun. There's a guy I saw online just literally a couple of weeks ago. He built a massive, almost like a full-size version of one. It was huge, and he flew. And it's like you look at it and you go, "That's that's such a simple design, but my God, it's so much fun." It's like it makes you want to run out and get one. So that I really loved.
It's really reminiscent of the Wingo, which at SEF we used to have Wingo races where we'd pylon race airplanes just like this. And that was really, I got to take part in that. It was very exciting and cool. So it's just a classic design for FPV, for training. Yeah.
Yep. And there have been others that have been like that, that have that very similar design. But there's something about the way they designed that one that is just perfect.
Yeah.
It's just perfect.
Wing Dragon. That was another one. It was all plastic.
Yes, it was very popular. I used to work in a hobby shop. They sold like hotcakes. They were only $109, so they were gone like that, And
Wing Dragon was. You would think no way this heavy plastic airplane, but nope, it just flew great.
That's exactly right, Jim. Let's go with the one where the plane crashes. Yep, that one right there. Plane crashes into the biplane. That's always a good one right there. And fire up the video from the very beginning because it just starts right off after the commercial, of course.
All right. Pausing, taking care of business. We're about to roll. Here we go.
Hi friends, welcome to the Plane Fun RC channel. I'm your host Saul. We're here at FlightFest 2024, the last day. We've got an incredible biplane walking out here. Just great. So folks, sit back, relax, put on your flying scarves, and enjoy the flight. Sir, tell us what you have here.
It's a Hanley Page Type O World War I bomber. It was the biggest bomber built in World War I.
And what'd you use to make it's green? Looks like green foam, I guess. Is that correct, sir?
Lowe's green foam and a bunch of that Adams Ready Board stuff.
Oh, fantastic. Folks, we're in for a special treat here. Really neat. How long did it take to build, sir?
Oh, I don't know. It's this month, but it's been a lot. It crashed. It's taken off one time and crashed. Then yesterday we tried to take off from the big planes and the landing gear collapsed.
Oh my goodness.
So now we and it's powered. We have a Powerade bottle here. That's basically the counterweight. So the batteries were just not heavy enough. So we added some weight just with some liquid.
There you go. What better thing to do?
I'd put a straw in there.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea.
Powered by Powerade, right?
Powered by Powerade. There you go.
Good. All right.
I'm sure I'll have a chance to fix it and get it back up in the air.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You good? All right. I think we're good. Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. That was very surprising. I'm sorry the camera dipped down. It just at that moment it scared the living hell out of me. I don't know what was going on. And but what happened? Guy was landing, and it's a bit of a free for all at FlightFest, but and no one got hurt or anything like that. But you can see
there it is. Holy moly.
Just plows right in. So that was an interesting one. But they fixed it and got it back up in the air. That's the fun thing about FlightFest. They've got since you can build it there, you can repair it there. So there you go. But that's all I want to show you on that one right there. Fun one. We'll definitely be going out there getting some of the craziness that goes on. I'm sure we'll definitely be getting a lot of crashes because you go to FlightFest, crashes go hand in hand when you're out there, and that's what makes it so much fun.
Let me tell you who's lucky. This guy in his butt.
Yes.
See how close this jet gets to. Wow, it's not going slow.
No, it was not.
Right there. Hello. Goodbye.
So,
well, did that guy ever fly that plane again, or was that?
He did. Yeah, no, he went back. Matter of fact, and later in the video, when he came back out again, I got him, and he did fly, but then it crashed. So he got it up.
Seemed like it was destined to crash.
He got it up. And then it just went. I was like, okay, well, there you go. All right, let's see what else we've got there. Hey, Jim, let's go with that big yellow one right there. Come on to just beneath. Yep, that one right there. That was also at FlightFest. I tell you, it's we'll talk with them. Oh, you're working the commercial there. I tell you, it's you can see all kinds out there. I'm gonna go ahead and let you do the audio on this one here.
Okay. And here we go.
Hi, friends. Welcome to the Plain Fun RC channel. I'm your host, Saul. We're here at FlightFest 2025. Folks, it's coming up on 8 o'clock, and at 8 o'clock, they break out the giant scale. And, folks, we've got a plethora of giant scale here. We've got the Tubby B-17 Supersize, which is just too cool for school. The smaller version is great, but the Supersize is just twice as fun. Got ourselves a Legacy over here. Two of them, as a matter of fact. We've also got the Broom Hilda. And we've got an Aeroworks Yak 55 over here, electrified. And we've got the 555% Cub. Electrified. Balsa fuselage, foam core wings, foam core horizontal stabilizer, along with foam core elevators and ailerons. And that motor is massive. So, folks, we're in for some fun tonight. So sit back, relax, and the fun will begin. Folks, continue our coverage of FlightFest 2025. We've got here Lincoln, the owner of and give me the exact name of the plane, sir.
This is the FT Simple Cub, the FT series that Josh built about, I think, 7 years ago. This kit came out, and I scaled it up 555%.
Wow, that's amazing. So talk to me about the motor there. What size motor, how much power is this generating in relation to, say, a gas engine, would you say?
This is a 100cc equivalent motor.
That's amazing. And how many cells are you running on that?
12S, and I have 8 battery packs in here in pairs to make 12S. There's 6S packs. So there's 4 pairs of 6S batteries to make 4 12S packs. Then they're ran in parallel to make basically 4 times the battery power.
So you got a 12S pack powering the motor.
Right.
How many milliamps would you say that pack
23,000.
23,000 milliamp. That's incredible. Now, I was looking at the plane. It looks like the wing. Come on over here, my friend. It looks like the wing is a foam core wing. Is that correct?
It's foam board, 1.5 inch insulation board from Lowe's. And then if you look up underneath it here, you can see that it has spars embedded into it with carbon fiber caps.
Oh, wow. Now, the fuselage itself, open frame, I see standard balsa construction there.
Correct. And it's outlined with Luan plywood in the front.
Wow.
And it splits in half in 2 pieces.
And what kind of flight time do you usually get at something like this? I see it being very light for its size.
It's 80 pounds, all up, ready to fly. So it's pretty light for the size. And I get about 8 minutes safe, and I got about 10 minutes total. So I fly for 8. and I got enough for a couple go-arounds if I need to.
Now, talk to me about the radio setup here. We got something this slow, but the services are this big. How many servos are you running per control surface on something like this?
One on each aileron, one on each tail surface, and then there's a double servo setup right there, slaved together, run pull cables on the rudder.
I see. Oh, so it's a pretty simple setup for the most part, baby.
Yes, very, very simple.
That's wonderful.
Basic 4-channel plane.
That's wonderful. Well, I'm excited to see this here. Jonathan Lincoln, have a good flight, my friend, and thank you so much for your time.
No problem.
All right, friends, stay tuned because this Lincoln's going to take us up for a flight. Folks, the fun never ends here. We have got ourselves, we saw it earlier today on the walk around, or you will see it later on the walk around video. That is huge. It is the F-22 yield sign. I think that's what he was calling it. But nonetheless, folks, it's here and it's huge, and we're going to get to see it in the air. So this will be a lot of fun. Ben, that's the FT Scout, correct?
Yes.
Super size. Very cool. Folks, continue our update. There. All right, friends, the big Cub's going out now. Folks, while we're waiting for them, let me just pan around real quick. Look at everybody that's here watching this great show. Isn't this amazing? Just fantastic. Look at that. All right.
That's a short rollout. It must jump off the ground.
There, of course, is our wonderful flying purple people eater, still going strong. I love it. Very good.
Need a ride? Hertz has pairings for every adventure. See Star Wars, The Mandalorian, and Grogu only in theaters.
All right, it's coming up, y'all.
And the guinea pig going by. All right, folks, looks like he's getting ready for the Cub here. Here we go, everybody. Hey! All right.
That is really impressive. You want your audio back, Saul?
All right. So yeah, no, it was really neat to see it fly. This is just a good example of what makes FlightFest so much fun. And I'll tell you, folks, I say it to every person I encounter, and you gotta go. You gotta go. I mean, Joe Knoll is wonderful because of the venue, and then the 10 different flying fields going at one time, and all the different planes and everything. But FlightFest is an animal unto itself. It's just, I mean, they're doing combat 3 times a day. They're building airplanes. They've got a station where if you have never flown before, you could learn, you could fly. They had 2 volunteers manning it, and they were mentioning to the folks at FlightFest there, Josh and some of the others. I think they said they were doing about 40 flights a day. 40 flights a day. People who just wanted to come over and fly. They actually said that they needed more volunteers. They had so many people coming in. Which is crazy, but that's what makes it so much fun. I mean, to be honest with you, you could bring a transmitter, you could bring a receiver, you could bring 3 or 4 cell packs and a charger, and that's all you need. Because when you get there, you buy the kit, you build the kit, takes a couple hours, and boom, you're all flying. And it's unlike any place around, and it's just a lot of fun. And I'm really excited to see the venue this year because I was so blown away. And this is an event that I will definitely be going to forever because it is just really wonderful. So folks, get out there, go to FlightFest. I promise you will really love it and you will be hooked and want to go every year thereafter. So
love it.
Yep. What else did you want to look at there, Jim, on the playlist I sent you? What catches your eye?
I don't know. Let's see. I do like that we've highlighted FlightFest so much. Hate everyone over there. I don't know. Let's finish off with the RV camper.
That's a
Seems
great
like
one.
a natural.
That's a great one. Yep, put that on there. Yep.
All right, we're gonna minimize that.
So while Jim's working on the commercial, what we're about to see is someone took a full-size airplane and turned it into a camper.
All right, we're gonna do all the deal here to make this hot, and here we go.
Hi friends, welcome to the Plain Fun RC channel. I'm your host Saul.
Yes.
We're here at FlightFest 2025. This gentleman has
Will
the
it
best
fly?
hat I've ever seen. It's pink and it's got 4 wheels and it's gonna fly. So folks, sit back, relax. This is gonna be great. A car with
We need to discuss here, Saul. So,
Okay.
really, there's 2 ways to become knowledgeable in the ways of flight. And one way is to maybe read a book. And are you frozen? Have I frozen you? Saul might be frozen, but he will unfreeze, I've found. The other way is to fly a lot of airplanes, build a lot of airplanes, crash a lot of airplanes. And that would be a great way to determine, will it fly? Because there's a CG, the primary biggest aspect of this whole deal. And then there's all the other aspects of the airplane that have to be right to just simply maintain altitude. There he is.
There we go. All right, Jim. Fantastic. Go ahead. What was your question, Jim?
I was explaining that you could read about flight and learn about aerodynamics, or you could fly and build a lot of airplanes and crash them. And then you would know, in about a year or so, really, will it fly? Now, I've got to say, just the fact there's something behind the main power source drooping really says to me, no, it will not fly. What do you think?
Jim, I'm glad you captured this frame, because what that says to me, the camper, that's full down elevator right there. So we know which direction it's going to go. But I love this so much, because I know I said this was a full-size camper. I was thinking of something else there at FlightFest. But I love this so much, because this encompasses what FlightFest is about. You could take a crazy out of this world design, throw it in foam, and if you put enough power about it, it'll fly, and may not fly very far, but it'll fly in some fashion. And as you'll see in a second, he goes through, he throws that thing, tries to do it a couple times, and it never really flew. Heck, we had a guy there, and I was going to put on the playlist for our show today. He took a lampshade. He got a lampshade to fly, which was crazy.
Well, I think that alone is worth going to the show just to see what people attempt to make fly.
Exactly. That's what makes FlightFest so much fun. So, folks, if you love this video, you're going to love FlightFest. Head on out there. Go ahead.
the trailer. This is nuts.
Okay, guys, what do we have here? It's a flying Jeep with a tent in the back. It came from the idea of like flying a lawnmower to a flying Jeep, and since the tent fell in Josh's Jeep, well, we included the tent in the setup. Awesome. What do you guys wanted? We did some flight tests and low power flights, and now we go for the full flight. Beautiful. Awesome.
So he's calling it a flying Jeep. There's some surfaces inside.
Down pitch it, sorry. You want to hold it for this?
Oh, all
Nice.
right.
Good throw.
All right. So,
All right, we're rebuilding.
to the main flight line.
Checking the shocks. Putting in a new cam.
Yeah, remember 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock is the next combat. 2 o'clock. So you got a couple hours to get built and repairing. Can't wait to see you on here in a couple hours. Along with that, we're going to have Jason B. We're going to do a couple announcements. Share some stuff.
Alright, thank you, man. 12 o'clock. Here in just a little bit.
to turn that audio off and turn your audio on. That was somewhat of a flight. I'd say he had about a second of possibly flying.
We're getting an echo there, Jim.
Sorry. There we go. Ho, 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 ho. He did it. You're good now.
Okay. Yeah, I know what he's talking about with the flying lawnmower. I had a flying lawnmower, and if they're challenging, they're not easy to fly. So I understand his concept. I think had he had some he's got the bracing connecting the camper there.
Yes.
And I think if he had some on the top to help stabilize that camper, he actually probably would have gotten it to fly. But I just thought it was
giant. It's a giant elevator back there.
That's exactly right. If you look, I got a shot from the camper from the rear. There was definitely some flying surfaces in there. So he's trying to get as much lift as possible, almost like a triplane. You got the top of the camper, you got the bottom of the camper, right. And he had something in the middle in there. So which is a brilliant idea in that respect. So, but that's a good example of some of the amazing stuff you'll see there at FlightFest. I mean, that was literally just a tiny fraction of what's there. There was one gentleman who was building this beautiful, gorgeous, it's a full-size, it wasn't full-size, based on a full-size plane. He had 3D printed the landing gear and everything, and he was putting the finishing touch on it. And, the landing gear collapsed during takeoff, and I didn't get a chance to capture it. But it's a really good example. And then there was another gentleman who was there. I didn't put this in the FlightFest, but he's got a YouTube channel with over 1 million subscribers. He had never flown RC. He comes out there.
I watched it. That's a great video.
Yes, he came out and he just found somebody and said, "Hey, you want to build an airplane together? I've never built one before." He's like, "Great." He did it, and it was fantastic. It was this big red airplane, and I got some video of it and everything, but it was great. So
it's so crazy when YouTubers collide. So that's a guy I follow who just makes creative things and builds them in his driveway and then takes them out somewhere. Like he made a remote control trash can and lived in it for a day.
Yes.
But then when I see him at FlightFest and then you, and I'm like, wow, this is a little mind blowing. It's like somebody from TV is all of a sudden interacting with people It's strange.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. But did you want to look at anything else on the playlist, Jim?
You know what? We should take one more look, but I will say, everyone, that the year is upon us. So basically, what's happening is Saul is out there creating new moments like this that are crazy. Plane breaks in half. Let's go out on a big note like this.
Yes, let's do that, Jim. That was a big one right there. That is one of those very, very rare structural failures that you capture. I mean, that's a rare one. And I had no idea what happened. So, Jim, I'm going to go ahead and let you go ahead and run with this one on the audio.
2024, we have got a gorgeous extra here, and we got the owner and pilot here. Sir, tell us what your name is.
My name's Quinn Hoyt. I fly the Pilot Oracle. It's a 40%. It was made by Pilot started making them 15 to 16 years ago. And this scheme is one of two. There's only two in the world that have this color scheme. I think the other one's purple. It's a beautiful plane. It flies like a dream. It just flies like a way bigger 30%. And it just floats and floats and floats. It's an amazing plane. I'm so happy with it. I hope I can show you a good trick today.
What do you have in there in terms of engine?
So it's the DA-170. That's what it's powered by. It's got a 30 by 16 prop. And it's a little loud. They kind of got on to me a little bit about it, but still, it sounds amazing.
Fantastic. What about wingspan and length?
Wingspan, I think it's 12 feet.
Okay.
And then length is again 12 feet as well.
And what scale would it be?
40%.
40%. Fantastic. So we're in for a special treat. All right, friends. Sit back, relax, watch the flight of this amazing aircraft, and enjoy the fun. half, folks.
Oh, sorry, everybody. Here we go.
Oh! Uh-oh. 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 Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness.
Elevons. This guy is flying it to the ground. That's what you got to do. If you had elevons, it could get a little up right there. I love it. Oh, how awesome is that? You never see a plane crack in half like that.
No, and I love it because he's rolling right and the rear of the fuselage is rolling left. It was a divorce it was a divorce in midair.
It's like two flights instead of one.
Bye-bye.
When I first went to work for Hobby Lobby, I built a thing called the Piggy. It was what was it? It wasn't foam. It wasn't styrofoam. But anyway, we were flying for the company and somebody came up and chopped my tail off in midair. And from then on, I put Elevon on every plane I owned in case I lost the elevator. I could use the ailerons to go up and down. And it did save me 2 or 3 times over my career. But
oh, wow.
I'm curious how this would have flown if he could have put some up in there.
Yeah, I thought about that too. That's an interesting one, but that's one of those very, 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 very rare moments, that when someone, we've seen wings break in half and and things like that, but to break a fuselage in half, he had to generate a lot of force. I mean, right there, you could see as he's pulling up, that tail is beginning the separation process, and then so
maybe it was a 15-year-old airframe and it just had hit the expiration date.
Right there. There's a good example. No, yep. The tail's going one way, the wings going another.
No, it's
I'm sorry, but this relationship is over.
Yes. And then, at the end, I love it when the airplane is fully nothing but, just scrap.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's so fun. You know why I stay with? You know why I do that, Jim? I'll tell you something. I'll let you a little secret. You watch some of these videos online where there's a crash, right? Well, I always want to know what happened after the crash. So I just said, I'm just going to stay with it. Yeah, they're picking up pieces and all that. But let's be honest, when we're at the field and we see it happen, what do? We want to keep watching it, even though it's long since down, long since crashed. We're just, the pickup is half the fun. And then we wait for it to come back so we can look at it closely. We want to see all the pieces.
Okay, I'm going to take us to something. I'm going to show you the greatest RC crash I've ever seen. And we actually shot the footage. It's probably the most views we ever had on a video. But I'll tell you the after story.
Okay.
See how hard this is to find.
And I'm gonna guess it's probably the explosion of the jet at Joe Knoll. Am I correct?
Yes.
And it was flown by Jason Schulman's brother. I didn't see that one. I missed that one in that year. I might have been building in the back. But yes, throw that up. That is hands down probably the best crash. The only crash would be better than that was the Mac Hodges crash at Warbirds over Delaware years ago.
And I feel funny about showing that. I just don't like showing Mac crashing for some reason.
Right. I understand.
Okay, this is being harder for me to find than usual, but I'm let's just put jet in here. I bet that'll do it. In fact, I bet it's right at the top of my list. Let's share the screen.
Yeah, if you go right to your channel and put it and click on your videos and then choose popular, I think it's at the very top of the list there.
I move things around, but it should be right in here. Boy, if I can't find my best video, shorts, videos.
Right, but you see where you see the word popular? Come down, just yep, right there. There it is.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. Yep.
So basically, what's happening here is he's being challenged to do a slow roll over the field. But what I think he neglects is that there's a little bit of a rise here at the end of the field. So this is about a $32,000 jet. And he catches a wing. And that is how all jets end in a fireball. We'll go full screen here.
And actually, forgive me, that wasn't Jason Schulman's brother. I'm thinking of a different plane crash that happened. Yeah, my mistake, folks.
And it's just full of jet fuel, and it just blows up. So Jason and I jumped in a golf cart to see what was left. And let me tell you what was left from this crash. Nothing was intact. Even the pilot figure was maimed beyond belief. There wasn't a servo. There wasn't nothing left of this. So
yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, there was another one similar to that. Jason Schulman's brother was doing. You can see that on YouTube. He was coming down, and he was a level flight. For whatever reason, the jet just suddenly pitched down, and it went, So that was interesting. Well, Jim, this was fun. I like doing that. We'll have to do this again. I can't wait to get you some more videos of this season. So, folks, make sure to go ahead and subscribe to Plane Fun RC. Make sure also to subscribe to the RC Groups YouTube channel, because Jim brings us a ton of great content. And let's be honest, Jim's been doing this for a number of years. And I want to say to you, Jim, thank you. You have you really helped bring a lot of people together with your websites and everything. And you've been such tremendous help to me with the channel. So, Jim, thank you.
Oh, thank you. And yes, links are below, so you'll get a link, and then I'll figure out how I'm going to do all this on Monday, and then you can go watch all these videos to your heart's content. Big thanks to Saul, who's out there working hard and bringing all that good RC goodness to us, and there'll be links to that as well. Saul, have a great rest of your day, and thanks for spending time with me.
Thanks, Jim. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Hit all the buttons.